What if I told you there's a chair in your house that can change your life? No candles, no rituals, no waiting, just you, a seat, and 5 minutes a day to rewire your entire reality. The secret. It's not the chair, it's what you dare to imagine while sitting in it. There is a moment each day where time bends, distractions fade, and your mind becomes the master architect of your future. It doesn't take hours, it doesn't require force. It only needs one thing: your willingness to imagine boldly, as if it's already done. This is where the chair technique begins. You sit, you close your eyes, and for 5 minutes you enter the scene of your desire, as if it already exists. Not in the future, not someday, now. Your body may still be in the room, but your spirit travels to a place where it already happened. You don't ask for it, you experience it. You feel the result. You hear the sounds, smell the air, see the surroundings. You take an ordinary chair and turn it into a throne of creation. And here's the secret. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between real and imagined, only repeated and emotional. So when you live that 5-minute scene every day, your reality begins to mirror it back. Most people spend their lives reacting to the outside world. But in that chair, for just 5 minutes, you stop reacting and start creating. You don't visualize to hope, you visualize to command. You sit not as a beggar, but as a builder. In that stillness, with no one watching, you sculpt the blueprint of your next level. And when you rise from the chair, the energy is already different. Why? Because you didn't just see it, you became it. You might think, it's just 5 minutes. What can that change? But 5 minutes of pure, focused imagination is more powerful than 5 hours of worry. Because worry creates more of what you don't want. But this is different. This is focused vision. Deliberate assumption. Inner conviction. Every day you sit, you're impressing the blueprint deeper into your consciousness. You're becoming familiar with success, peace, love, whatever you've chosen. And what the mind rehearses, life eventually repeats. It's not about the chair. It's about the state you enter when you sit in it. It becomes your sacred space. Your portal. Your private meeting with the reality you're calling into being. You don't need to talk about it. You just need to live it internally, emotionally, consistently. The outer world may not change overnight, but inside that chair you will. And once you shift internally, reality won't be able to ignore your new vibration. Don't wait for a perfect time. Don't wait for a sign. Sit down today. Close your eyes. Enter the scene. Live the end. Feel the moment. Stay there, undisturbed, until your entire body believes it. And when the timer hits 5 minutes, stand up, not as who you were, but as who you now are. Because the world isn't changed by effort alone. It's changed by imagination, focused, fearless, and 5 minutes at a time. Your imagination is not a toy, it is the blueprint factory of your future. When you give it 5 minutes of undivided attention, you awaken a force more potent than any circumstance. In those 5 minutes, you can relive the ending you desire, not as a fantasy, but as a memory. You don't need candles or chants, you need focus. Deep, emotional focus. When you enter that chair with intention, you are stepping out of the world of waiting and into the realm of creation. Time bends, logic pauses, and the unseen starts to shape itself around your inner picture. It may feel simple, even quiet, but don't confuse silence with weakness. Power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers in the form of a scene you dare to believe in. That focused imagination, repeated daily, is not imagination anymore. It's rehearsal. And what is rehearsed in the mind eventually plays out on the stage of life. 5 minutes is enough, if you're all in. The chair you sit in doesn't matter. What matters is the state you enter when you sit. It could be old, worn, or basic. It becomes sacred the moment you close your eyes and feel the scene is real. That ordinary seat becomes the throne of your inner kingdom. The moment you stop asking and start assuming, everything shifts. You are no longer seeking, you are embodying. You don't ask if it's working. You sit as if it's already done. You live the answer. Your breath slows, your heart believes, and the chair becomes the space where the unsart's taking form. It's not the furniture that creates, it's your awareness. The chair is simply the anchor, the gateway, the meeting point between who you've been and who you're becoming. When you sit with conviction, the world must respond. And even though nothing seems to change in that moment, everything changes inside. And what changes inside must eventually reveal itself outside. The body may be still, but when emotion fills the scene, the soul moves mountains. You could imagine passively and nothing happens. But when you feel it, really feel it, your subconscious opens like fertile ground. The images become more than thoughts, they become experiences. And experience is what the mind remembers, accepts, and replicates. The subconscious doesn't care whether it happened or not. It only reacts to repetition and emotion. So when you feel joy, relief, gratitude during your 5-minute scene, you are planting seeds. Deep, rooted, alive. These seeds grow silently, but they grow steadily. You don't need to force results when you've impressed your mind with feeling. The outer world is simply a reflection of what you rehearse emotionally. So don't imagine like you're watching a movie. Imagine like you're living a moment already written in time. And the more real you feel it, the sooner your life will catch up. Every time you sit in that chair and assume your desire is already fulfilled, you are changing the entire chemistry of who you are. You're no longer aligned with what was, you are bonded with what will be. That 5-minute experience upgrades your identity. And identity is what reality obeys. You walk differently. You speak with more certainty. You carry a frequency that commands response. Why? Because you've touched the version of you who already has it. And once you know what that feels like, you begin living from it, not toward it. Your energy shifts before your results do, but make no mistake, your results will follow. You are becoming the outcome before it even arrives. You're not playing pretend. You're rehearsing the inevitable. That is the true purpose of the chair. It's not about escaping life, it's about stepping into the realer life you were born to claim. 5 minutes can do more than 5 years of struggle when the imagination is properly used. The mind doesn't need length. It needs intensity. If you focus fully, emotionally, and clearly, 5 minutes becomes a door to a new dimension. You don't need to imagine all day. You need to imagine deliberately, consistently, and completely. That's the secret. Many spend hours hoping, doubting, waiting, but 5 minutes of laser-sharp vision is like a spiritual spark. It ignites the process. You become one with the result. And when you rise from that chair, you carry with you a new and energetic script. That script begins attracting new roles, new scenes, new people. Not because time passed, but because your identity shifted. Life responds to clarity. Life responds to intensity. You don't need to beg. You need to become. 5 minutes is all it takes when those minutes are filled with true presence. The subconscious doesn't care what's true. It only cares what's repeated and emotionally accepted. This is why 5 intentional minutes of vivid, emotional imagination can shape your destiny. If you tell your subconscious a story with feeling, it believes it, and once it believes, it acts. You may be surrounded by limitations, but your subconscious doesn't know that. It only knows what you feel to be real. So in that chair, you feed it new evidence, not with logic, but with feeling. You speak the language of the unseen. And the subconscious rewrites its commands. What was once impossible now becomes obvious. The world outside hasn't changed yet, but your programming has. And when programming changes, reality follows. You're not trying to convince anyone but yourself. Because once you believe deeply, the outer world becomes a mirror of that belief. Not by accident, but by law. That chair is your sacred place. Not because of how it looks, but because of what you do there. It's where you leave the noise and enter the knowing. It's where you step away from distraction and enter into design. It is not a time to check your phone, to plan your day, or to worry. It's your appointment with destiny. A private moment when nothing else matters except the scene you choose to live. When you sit there daily, your energy begins to associate that chair with transformation. It becomes a trigger, a symbol. You'll find your body relaxes faster. Your mind focuses sharper. Your spirit goes deeper. Because that chair isn't just furniture anymore, it's a portal. Use it with respect. Use it with reverence. Don't rush it. Let it become your meeting point with your highest self. The more you honor that space, the more it will honor you back. Repetition is how you learn to walk, talk, drive, and succeed. But repetition with awareness creates becoming. In your 5-minute chair session, you are not escaping reality, you are building a new one. Every time you live the scene, your spirit grows familiar with the feeling. And familiarity becomes evidence. The brain doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's repeatedly imagined. So when you rehearse success, peace, love, or abundance, you create a normalcy around them. They don't feel distant anymore. They feel natural. This is what causes attraction to become automatic. You don't force what you feel is normal. You allow it. Life gives you what you deeply expect. And expectations are formed by what you emotionally repeat. Let your scene be vivid. Let it be daily. Let it be done. Over time, the rehearsal becomes your reality and you'll no longer be imagining it. You'll be living it. You're not doing this technique to dream. You're doing it to transform. You're not closing your eyes to the stabbed life. You're doing it to step into a higher version of yourself. Each time you sit, you are taking the posture of power. You are saying to the world, I don't chase, I create. You don't hope the scene will come true. You embody it as truth right now. This is not fantasy. This is formation. You don't need signs. You need alignment. When you live the end in those 5 minutes, you are collapsing time. You are folding the future into the now. And the universe, in perfect response, begins rearranging everything to match that vision. You become the vibration of your result. That vibration moves faster than effort. So when you rise from that chair, don't wait. Walk as the one who has already received. When you sit in the chair and close your eyes, you are not closing yourself off, you are opening yourself up. You're not meditating to feel better. You're imagining to become better. That one scene you repeat, that moment you live, becomes the seed of a future that has no choice but to appear. You're not waiting on life. Life is waiting on you. That 5 minutes of stillness is your declaration of identity. And identity creates everything. Don't underestimate the repetition. Don't dismiss the simplicity. This is how the laws of consciousness work. The world mirrors your most dominant assumption. And the assumption you visit every day in that chair becomes your dominant one. Speak it, feel it, see it, be it. You don't need more time. You need more presence. That is how you create anything in 5 minutes from a chair, with absolute belief.